What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to the channel. It is update day for Dungeon Defenders 2, y'all, as the Mercenary has finally arrived. Before we jump into the patch notes, let's take a quick look at the Meet the Mercenary trailer for Dungeon Defenders 2.
Previously serving as an elite royal warrior, the Mercenary is now a soldier for hire that utilizes contracts and bonds created with many strong and strange beings throughout Etheria to get any job done. Whether providing protection or taking out a target, the Mercenary has the tools needed. Any job can be done for the right amount of coin. It's the Mercenary way. Primary attack. With years of training, the Mercenary cuts through foes with deadly precision and power, unleashing quick flourishes while dual-wielding daggers. Secondary attack. Incredibly light and nimble, the Mercenary launches himself towards his enemies, twirling through the air to close the distance between his target, dealing damage upon landing. Fan of Knives. Quickly spin in place, throwing knives in every direction, dealing damage to all close by. Poison Dagger Throw. Throws a line of poison daggers toward your enemies. Combat Preparation. Focuses on the battle ahead that give him an edge in battle by increasing movement speed and damage. Sweeping Strikes. Unleash a spin move in the direction you're facing, dealing massive damage to any enemy unlucky enough to be in the path. Royal Guard Blockade. Blocks enemies' attacks with his shield, dealing physical damage. Nether Archer. Fires bolts of dark energy that bounce between enemies, dealing less damage after each bounce. Nether Spider Spawner. Spawns several spiders that run toward enemies and explode, dealing physical damage. Elvish Artillery Cannon. Fires a chaotic ball of energy, dealing area of effect storm damage.
Now, I will be doing a full rundown video of the Mercenary once I get a little time to play with him here over the next couple of days. However, let's take a peek at the patch notes. The Mercenary's abilities are the Fan of Knives. Quickly spin in place, throwing knives in every direction, dealing damage to all close by. The Dagger Throw throws a line of poison daggers towards your enemies. Combat Preparation focuses on the battle ahead, giving an edge in battle by increasing movement speed and damage. And then Sweeping Strikes. Unleash a spin move in the direction you're facing, dealing massive damage to any enemy unlucky enough to be in the path. Now, as far as these abilities go, I think the things I'm most excited about here would be the Dagger Throw. I think it looks super cool. Anxious to jump in and try out some Dagger Throw. And then Combat Preparation. The buff heroes in all Dungeon Defender games are usually quite powerful, and excited to see how well Combat Preparation combines with the other abilities. Now, as towers, we've got the Royal Guard Blockade. Blocks enemies, attacks with a shield, dealing physical damage. We've got the Nether Spider Spawner. The Nether Spider Spawner, of course, is the kind of slime-like defense that is going to have spiders run towards enemies and explode, dealing physical damage and weakening enemy attacks. We've got the Nether Archer Tower. Fires bolts of dark energy that bounce between enemies, dealing less damage after each bounce. The Elvish Artillery Cannon fires a chaotic ball of energy, dealing area of effect storm damage. Now, of these towers, I gotta say, I think the Nether Archer Tower looks really darn cool. The Elvish Artillery Cannon is, in my opinion, the best looking defense in all of Dungeon Defenders 2. However, although I'm excited about trying it out, my first impression is I think the Nether Archer Tower is going to be my go-to there. Now, with a new hero, of course, comes lots of new shards, and taking a look at the shards available, we've got Knife Club, increases the damage of Fan of Knives. Empowered Throw increases the damage of Daggered Throw. Sharp Thinking increases the damage bonus of Combat Prep. Follow-through increases the damage of sweeping strikes. Backstab. Now this one in particular I'm very curious about because it does add a little bit different playstyle into Dungeon Defenders 2. Primary attacks that hit enemies from behind now deal additional damage. Now, as I mentioned, this brings a different playstyle for sure. I think it will make melee play a lot more fun and a lot less just tank and spank and hold the lane down like a barbarian is. This will add a little bit more of a skill-based gameplay where you have to position yourself while doing those attacks. Escape Artist reduces the time of disabling effects you sustain. This is basically like free tenacity mods, basically. So Escape Artist, I think, will really be a go-to as it's going to give you increased tenacity on top of what you've already got from your passive damage or your passive buff. Poisoned Blades. Combat Prep now applies poison to your blades for 5 seconds. This is another one. It's going to be very curious as exactly how well this works. Explosive Blades. Daggers thrown by dagger throw no longer pierce. However, they now stick to the target and explode after 3 seconds. Lingering Poison. Daggers thrown by dagger throw now poison the target. Shadow Prince. Taking damage has a percentage chance to make you take less damage and stun attackers. Momentum. Enemies hit by abilities reduce sweeping strikes cooldown. Binding Roots. Your slam ability has a chance to stun enemies. Bounty. Restores mana upon defeating an enemy. It also seems like this could potentially be one of those no-brainers. If you use Bounty, you should be able to keep your buff up. The majority of the time, I'm assuming, we'll have to play around with it and see how effective it is. And then Frenzy. Primary attacks have a chance to increase attack speed. Can only proc every 7 seconds. However, it lasts 5 seconds. So you can keep this buff up 5 of every 7 seconds, which that seems pretty darn good, right? So if you're going to play your Mercenary as melee, Frenzy seems to be the way to go, no doubt. And then we've got some Tower Shards. Earthen Guard imbues the Royal Guard shield with Earth Magic that has a chance on dealing damage to unleash a Fissure, dealing a percentage of your tower health as Earth damage. So you can turn your Mercenary blockades into a bit of an active damaging defense. Plated Armor imbues the Royal Guard's armor, making enemy projectiles deal less damage. Ghost Arrows. The arrows of the Nether Archer can now bounce additional times. I mean, once again, if you're going to use the Nether Archer, this one seems kind of like a no-brainer. Ghastly Curse. The Nether Archer arrows now make enemies move at a reduced speed for a certain period. Now, this one's going to be kind of questionable depending on your build, but I mean, more crowd control is always a good thing. Icy Spiders. Nether Spiders have a percentage chance to spawn a pool of ice on the ground that makes all nearby enemies move at a reduced speed. The pool lasts 10 seconds. Exploding Spiders. Nether Spiders' explosion radius is larger. Overcharge increases the Elvish Artillery Cannon's projectile damage radius and reduces the damage fall off. This one could be quite good as well. If you're going to use Elvish Artillery Cannon, might as well try out Overcharge a bit. Critical Allocation increases the defense crit damage of the Elvish Artillery Cannon and crit chance, but lowers the tower's range. Same thing there. This is going to be well worth checking out right here. We've got 2 new mods that are specific to the Mercenary. We got the Mercenary's Mark. Fan of Knives now marks targets. Marked targets take extra damage on the next hit. We got Spectral Arrows. Damage dealt by Nether Archer arrows is reduced less than normal on subsequent bounces. Now, as far as mods go, I'm curious about the Fan of Knives mod, as this gives you kind of a mana dump if you're playing a hero damage-based hero. So if you're going in for the backstab and you throw up a Mercenary's Mark, you're going to be doing increased damage, and then the backstab is going to be increased damage as well. So super stoked to see how well these combine together. The new Adept Tower, the Flame Burst Tower, has made a return to Dungeon Defenders 2. So The Flame Burst is good stuff, so anxious to try that out. There's also a new shard for the Flame Burst Tower, Gathering Burst. Flame Burst Tower's fireballs deal more damage the further they travel. So get your Flame Burst Towers down at maximum range and get that additional damage. Now, of course, we got some new skins. Now, let's take a look through the new skins. We've got a new Mercenary skin, of course. This one is available as a bundle with the hero, or you can pick it up individually. It is the Aegis of the High King. The Lavamancer skin, the Zombie Mancer. We've got the Snake God's Vessel for the Mystic. The Cursed Lord of the Desert for the Abyss Lord. The Bone Dragon's Battle Gear for the Dryad. The Fire Lord Adept. And the Forbidden Magic Apprentice. Additionally, there will be some new cosmetics added in. The Tundraken Head, the Tundraken Wings, and the Tundraken Tail. These are going to be available in Defender packs, so no way to just buy that bundle that I've seen. It will be Defender packs only. Now there's a few new pets added into the game. You got the Dino with that Jurassic Warcry, which is resets all the heroes' ability cooldowns. This one drops in Lost Dungeon maps. We've got the Haunted Ship, which has the Tsunami, which rolls out the 3000% hero damage wave that's going to drench all enemies for 5 seconds. This one is going to drop on the Isle of Dread maps. And then we got the Amber Dino, which will be available with Defender medals. Now taking a look at a few balance changes, axes can now roll light and heavy. The Ice Chip is now an unlocked mod, so you're going to be able to move that Ice Chip around and are not required to use a Drakenfrost weapon with it. The Orc Blockade attacks changed to area of effect. Removed Headstrong from all stabby lanes, so if climbing Onslaught is your thing, Headstrong Assassin lanes are one of the most difficult things in higher Onslaught maps to deal with, and they're now no longer there. So that will make your climb in Onslaught much more enjoyable and significantly easier. Headstrong enemies are no longer able to be frozen. Well, frozen is a stun, so of course headstrong enemies you wouldn't think would be able to be frozen anyway, so yeah, you can't freeze up the headstrong enemies. Now, there was also a bunch of bug fixes. Those are all listed right here. Now, as far as the bundles go, of course, everyone will have their personal favorite, but out of the 7 new cosmetic skins added into Dungeon Defenders 2, my personal favorites, the things I think looks the coolest, is the Bone Dragon's Battle Gear. Looks just awesome. This one's going to be 800 gems. You've got the Forbidden Magic Apprentice. This thing looks super cool. If you're going to play the Apprentice, this is a great skin for it. And then the Cursed Lord of the Desert. This is just an awesome looking Abyss Lord skin, no doubt. Now, by all means, all the skins look nice. However, that is my 3 personal favorites. Now, taking a look at the bundles, 2 of these 3 are available in the Death Dealers bundle. So you can get the Forbidden Magic Apprentice and the Cursed Lord of the Desert Abyss Lord here. Then you've got the Among Gods bundle, the Snake God's Vessel, the Fire Lord Adept, and the Bone Dragon's Battle Gear. So if you want to pick these costumes up and you want to save yourself a little bit of cash, then the bundles are without a doubt the way to go. I'm not sure if I'm going to get both bundles. I probably will. I'm not positive though, but we will have to see. But I do think that those three particularly, that Bone Dragon's Battle Gear, the Cursed Lord of the Desert, and the Forbidden Magic Apprentice, in my opinion, are the 3 best looking new ones. Now, let me know down below what you think are the best new cosmetics in this update for Dungeon Defenders 2. And there will be a link down in the description to the full patch notes, so make sure you head on over and give them a look. But more to come in DD2 as I dive in and have a little fun with this update. But that will do it for now, so thank you all so much for watching. make sure to check back by the channel later, as we are going to be giving away some mercenaries right here on YouTube. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see ya next time around. Take it easy.